Welcome back to You'll Go Wild. In this episode we head to Mungindi. We visit the famous Nindigully Pub, checked out the local sculpture trail and ran from the floods.
That's the famous Nindigully Pub. Famous because it made a film here. It's been some time ago because Hugh Jackman was really young in this. These were from the original film. And this was originally on the shop, which obviously is gone now.
The pub was full of history and the walls were adorned with stories and pictures of its past, along with memorabilia from the paperback hero movie. They also had a spectacular array of Cobra hats along the ceiling. Outside, the garden is set up for families and outdoor entertainment. It reminded me of a good old English pub.
I thought this was where the pigs were going to be. This is the river that runs along the Nindigully Pub. And this once flooded in 2020. Then it's all risen again because of the late rains. And we're in for some more rain, so we might end up being flooded again and cut out. We're at nearly 2 metres now. So it's a good place to fish. So that's the old shop there from Nindigully. It's obviously closed down now. It's the campsite, you can camp in there.
Camp at the front. You're right, you can camp at the back there as well.
It's a pretty spot. So that was the Nindigully Pub, and it's the oldest pub in Queensland. It was around in 1864 apparently, wasn't it? And it's still original as in from when it was built, hasn't had any changes to it. But it was really good inside, didn't it?
Yeah, it's cool.
And it's worth definitely visit if you like it, you know, to see what's happening in the history of the pub as such. Food's really good there apparently. We were too early for lunch, which was a bit of a shame. But you can order a burger. It's called the Road Train Burger, and it's 5.5 kilograms of burger. It's that big. And it's $100 though to buy, and if you manage to eat it on your own, you can have it for free. But it does come with fries and onion rings, and apparently no one's actually done it.
Well, someone did it 10 years ago, but the burger's changed size since then. So.
Yeah, apparently it's a bit bigger now, so it's a 1.2 kilogram patty and servings of onion rings and chips. A family of four tried eating it and still couldn't eat everything because they left some of the chips and onion rings, so they couldn't actually eat it. So it is actually a big thing. So if you can chomp them down, that would be great. But they're also famous for their pig racing as well, isn't it? Once a year. Unfortunately, it's later in November, so we couldn't hang around wait for that. But it was pig racing. There was pictures of in the pub, the little pigs that race, and they do that for charity for the Royal Flying Doctors Services. So one thing I have noticed actually a lot is here, or as we've been travelling through the Outback, how everyone rallies around for the different charities and tries to fundraise. So they have the coin throwing up on the ceiling, and that's for the Black Dog, wasn't it, for mental health, and some other charities, and they do lots for the Royal Flying Doctors Services. And considering that there are not many people in these outback towns compared to the cities that we're used to, they do an awful lot for charity, raising money, which I think is fantastic. Anyway, we're on our way now on to
Mungindi.
Mungindi. It's not easy to say half these times. That's where we're going. We reckon this must have been the campsite at once before it flooded. Now this is actually a walkway. It's a reasonably new walkway, but you can't get through because the water's so flooded. It's coming up the walkway.
The 2.5-kilometre Mungindi Sculpture Trail starts at Barwon River Park. It's unique because it crosses the Queensland and New South Wales border in 2 spots. There are 11 sculptures to discover along the trail, and each has a story to tell. Local artist Tony McKillen, or Nico as he's like to be known, created his sculptures using items that had no real use anymore, basically rubbish. He would see potential in discarded junk and would bring things back to life, giving them a new purpose. We love this kind of art. Sadly, Nico tragically died in 2016 at the age of 54, and to celebrate his life, his family generously donated his amazing creations to the Mungindi community.
We had to give up on this one because we can't find it. So there's a penguin somewhere out here. You reckon he might be underwater? That's someone's land. And they're pumping the water out of their land back into the river, which is way swollen. And there you see someone over there. There's their barbecue, outdoor barbecue over there. That's going to be underwater soon. Couldn't find 6 because well, it disappeared, but we're not sure whether it's under the flood waters by the river. But it's really hard to find that one. We did look. So we're going to, because we can't get across because the river's closed, the path across the river's closed, we're going to go over into New South Wales border and work backwards now from 11 and see if we can find,
Well, this is back
as we're through.
Queensland, isn't it? Or is that into New South Wales?
No, we're in Queensland now,
Right, okay.
and across the bridge, and we come into
So
New
the
South
first one
Wales.
across the bridge
Is 11.
on the left.
Yeah. I do feel sorry for these people because this isn't the first flood that's happened, is it, recently either? So they've just got over one flood,
Yeah, it's a turtle.
and now they're
Just down
back
there
again.
somewhere.
No. There it is then.
Yeah.
So clearly you're meant to do this by foot, not by car. Doesn't tell you that in the brochure. And unfortunately, because of the river being flooded, you can't actually get to access them. So we reckon there's along this path, and there should be 2 more along here, but they're obviously underwater.
We had planned to camp at Mungindi, but because the camp was completely underwater, we moved on to Moree. Though that was a challenge in itself, with the main road closed due to flooding, there was an extended detour. It's at this point we realised we need to plan our escape route.
Guys, it seems to be a bit of a case of deja vu on this trip as well. So if you've been following us in the New South Wales one, in the episode, the last part of our journey, we had to make a mad dash because of floods. Well, this seems to be the same case here as well. So we are in Moree at the moment, and we've had been following the forecasts since Winton, actually, I think, in Queensland, of all the floods that are coming down. So we've been very conscious about how we're going to get back, if we're going to be able to get back. So there has been floods in Queensland,
Our journey again has come to an abrupt end, and we both felt demoralised that we hadn't accomplished another Outback adventure as we had planned. We hope you had enjoyed our adventures so far, and until next time, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe and share.